No.
Okie dokie. No.
While she's not as infamous as the Bowser Hot Tub final boss of Super Mario Sunshine, I have seen the Bowletta fight grace many a top 10 worst list for the Mario series, and for good reason, because it was clear from the joke's end level that AlphaDream had decided to ramp up the difficulty into the ceiling between that ice castle and this lava castle. And the final point pinned right to the drop ceiling was Bowletta herself. A final boss happening since Bowletta had already failed at everything else. The Beanstar was recovered, she was tricked out of Princess Peach, and lost Luigi as a hostage, so we're beating her up again because basically she wanted petty revenge on the Bean Kingdom as a sore loser. It is a bit weird that AlphaDream decided to put the princess rescue in the middle of the story and leaving the villain tacked on as an afterthought, since the game up until the halfway point was sticking diligently to the Mario and/or Zelda formula. But it doesn't matter how we ended up here, because here we are standing in front of the most sadistic villain of the entire series. Bowletta, a genius combination of Bowser and Cackletta for the benefit of showing the audience the fuck-uppedness of Cackletta possessing Bowser and transforming him into a magic boob monster. The final boss starts off well enough with typical flame breaths that require precise timing to dodge, some lava ball bowling thing that summons a bunch of Bowletta health items, and then a meteorite barrage that is happening inside of a castle. I guess the power of Boobs was stronger this time. This form can be Thunderhand comboed though, so it's a bit trivial of an introduction to the actual final battle, where Bowletta quote-unquote tricks Mario and Luigi into being blown up by a spare insta-kill Bob-omb, and then transported inside of Bowletta to duke it out with Cackletta's soul, the spiritual manifestation of her cosmic powers that may or may not exist in the Bowser Boobs, and this second form takes the golden-plated biscuit. It's a difficult boss for the sake of unfairness and difficulty coming from the idea that if the players is given a diamond-hard boss fight right at the end of the game, defeating it will be a huge victory, and they'll leave satisfied, which realistically means that the player will get frustrated right at the end of the game, break their Game Boy in half, and then say fuck off to the whole thing by punching it in the screen. This really is something developers should have learned by the NES/SNES stage, but here it is, all in its retro difficulty glory. The problems start with Cackletta's insane move pool drawing in long-ass flame jump rope, a lightning clacker ball, damage and health power-ups, an energy ball drop, being flicked in the nose, and then there's the infuriating arm-spinning attack that has reduced many a gamer to a fit of rage since it's hard to predict, dodge, or even heal from. Then there's the fact that this is a marathon boss fight on top of its obtuse difficulty. First you need to defeat Cackletta's hands and then her face, and that will reveal the heart of the boss, which in the same turn causes all her limbs to return and gives her a free attack on the Mario crew from all of them at the same time. Combine that with the fact that the heart is only open to attack for a glorified 2 turns, and it has a resource of 12 flippin' 100 health, and you've got yourself the disaster in a can boss fight of Bowletta. And we haven't even gotten to the worst part. I said that Bowletta is a marathon boss fight, which means that on top of everything else that we've talked about, it also escalates over time. Yep, her move pool gets added with a Fawful clone that sprays lasers at the player, and a time-stop laser attack that requires pinpoint dodging since she literally stops time before she attacks, meaning you have only one chance to dodge it or you get your entire head chopped off. Also, all of the attacks she had before become harder to dodge, stronger, and generally more horrible, so you'll die. You'll die a lot in this final boss, and you know what kind of goodie you get if you manage to hit the game over screen? You get dumped to the last save point. So yes, that means each attempt requires you to go through the unskippable free fight cutscene, the entire Bowletta section again, to even get back to the Cackletta's sole boss. This entire boss fight was treated with the notion that more difficulty equals higher satisfaction, so the boys at AlphaDream just tossed in every headache-inducing idea they had from the brainstorming meeting into a bowl and stirred it up to give players this schlock. This embarrassing sludge that was simply a bad idea when it hit the drawing board, and no one raised up their hands to object. Something so horribly difficult that you'd think it'd come only from a Steam derivative developer, yet gets even more stupid when you remember that it came from the same guys who made the rest of this amazing game, only to fumble the whole project right at the end of the damn thing. There's a serially validated reason that this boss fight ends up on a lot of people's shit lists. It's horribly difficult for no reason, it makes the player jump through a lot of hoops to repeat it over and over again, it eats up the player's time by requiring strategizing and memorization just for this one encounter, and its attacks are hard to dodge. It's only vulnerable in tiny windows, and the whole deal is a massive slog, clocking it at a half hour unto itself, even for just a successful run. I hope the developer learned from this mistake later on, since Mario & Luigi is currently a 5-game series. I don't feel satisfied, I just feel infuriated and relieved to see the credits, which I hope wasn't what AlphaDream was aiming for here, because that's really fucking stupid.